Welcome to Level Up with CMJ. Hey, my name is Joe, and this is my Craps Master Dice Shooting Journey. Let's make it yours too. Today is episode 120 of the Level Up program, and I'm going to go through some different things today. We're going to do our normal Crapsee. So if you are playing along with Crapsee, make sure that you jump into the table. The code is H9K4Z4. But as we go through today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do a review of this weekend. I went down to Chicago area and I met up with a bunch of people down there. And there was some lessons learned by myself and things I'm going to cover. I had a lot of positives. It was great people, great company, great time down there meeting everyone. But also there's some things that I could have done a lot better. I wanted to start off, first of all, by announcing all the people that were down there and all the great people that I did meet. Starting off at the end of the table in the far right side on the far corner was Joe and DJ. They were a father-son combination who just started playing craps within the last month, and they did an extremely good job, and they were great students of the game, both very positive people. And then going around the table, there's a friend of Sith Lord SB's. His name is Chris. Good morning, Ada. And Chris was an awesome guy. We had Ricky Lee showed up. If you guys see him in the chat all the time, Ricky Lee was there. Demon Dog Chris was there, and he had an amazing roll. It was in the low 20s. Arnell was there. And then we had Sith Lord SB, his name is Corey, and Corey was there with his buddy Rich as well, and Rich had a 51 roller, which there's an interesting story attached to that one. And then I met Giuseppe. Giuseppe was somebody who frequents Big AZ's channel quite a bit. They had met down in Vegas at one time, and Giuseppe started following Big AZ. So, and then I had Big AZ standing next to me. So it was a great time. I lost $550 or $555. So if you look at my trip report from yesterday, it was short that it was about 8.5 minutes long. I filmed it while I was going 80 some miles an hour down the interstate. Good morning, Craig. It'll kind of give you a highlight of what happened yesterday and everything that had occurred. But the one thing two things I do want to cover is, first of all, the betting scheme that we reviewed last week on our Level Up program. I slightly altered it. My intention to start off was to do the horseman strategy until I could figure out what the table was doing. Well, when I was driving down, I made the mistake of watching other YouTuber videos, and Waylon had an awesome strategy. It was called the 007. So 007 is almost the same thing as what the horseman is. Horseman starts out with a don't pass bet, and then you do 3 come bets. Well, the 007 is a don't pass, a DC, and then instead of doing 2 come bets, you do 2 place bets. So it's essentially the same strategy. But what was happening is the first couple shooters, I would say the first 4 shooters that I did that strategy with, they knocked off my don't pass and my don't come right away. And I was kind of losing money right from the get-go. So I switched over, instead of doing my other strategies that I talk about, I actually switched over to the skill 66. Morning, SJ. And skill 66 eventually brought me back to even. And that was with the help of Demon Dog's roll, as well as Arnell had a nice roll. So after those 2 rolls, I was basically back to even, a little bit in the positive. And then another gentleman threw, and I actually lost money again, so I kind of got gun shy a little bit. And then Rich came up. And keep in mind, guys, our first session at the table was about 4 hours long. During that 4 hours time period, I only had the opportunity to shoot the dice twice. The first time I shot the dice, I got a 9. And Demon Dog was keeping track of all the rolls and the length of the rolls, and he'd let everybody know how we were doing in that. So he came up, he says, "Hey Joe, you got a 9?" I said, "Great, thank you." He showed me he had an app on his Apple Watch that actually was allowing him to do the counting. And second time I rolled, I got a 6, I believe. And he came up and says, "Joe, you got a 6." I'm like, "Thanks for reminding me, buddy." Good morning, Chris. Anyhow, came around and Sith Lord's friend Rich rolled, and he had a 51 roller. So keep in mind that I had just lost money. I was a little gun shy. So what I did is I went in on the horseman on the beginning of his roll, and I did a $10 dome pass, and then I did a 3 $10 combats. Well, the dome pass got knocked off immediately because he made his point right away, so that one got hit. The first comeback got hit because it was a craps number. So here I am, $20 down. I have 20 more to go. So I get the next comeback bet out after he sets a point, and it goes like on the 4. And once the last comeback goes out, it went on, I think, the 8. I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, I'm $40 down on this shooter, and I'm hoping to make my money back. Well, I got the 4 back, and I got the 8 back. So both of the comebacks paid out. I was back down to $0 on that. And remember, this is during the 51 roller. So, and this is about 10 to 15 rolls in. So I'm like, okay, I'm happy with that 0. And I'm just going to wait the shooter out and see how he does. I was expecting the 7 to come pretty soon, but it never came. And he went on, and he went on, and he went on. And everybody's saying, "Joe, get back into this." I was the only one at the table. And keep in mind, this is a fully crowded table. It's a 14-foot table. In fact, people were trying to scoot in, and we were all spreading our elbows out and making sure that nobody else can get onto the table while this roll is going on. But it was 51 rolls, and about probably roll 20 something, people are saying, "Joe, get back in, get back in, get back on the table." And I refuse to do so because I have a habit about myself is if I buy in mid-roll or if I tip the dealer even mid-roll, that damn 7 comes out right away. Well, I sat there, guys, and I watched all 51 rolls, and I was high-fiving everybody, and I had the greatest time watching it, but I made 0 money. And there was people around me making thousands and thousands of dollars. It was just amazing to watch the money. The rings on the table, the dust rings on the table, they were all over on the dealer side of the table. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So that was one thing that I learned is my betting scheme needs to be changed around a little bit. So we're going to change that around a little bit today. I did a little bit of studying, a little bit of things that I think will help me with my betting scheme so that way I can become a little bit more profitable. Second thing that I noticed was the table that we're playing at was a little bit higher of a table, at least the rails weren't at. And it's very similar to, it's almost exactly to how my table is right now. But what happened is I was always practicing with a step. The step's about this tall on my table. So that's going to elevate me up a little bit. So starting this week, I'm going to take that step away and I'm going to throw it. So I'm standing on the floor like normal. And that's almost exactly the way the table was down at the Harrah's in Joliet, Illinois. So we're going to try that. The other thing that was throwing me off, and we'll add this in at a later time, is it was a 14-foot table. I am shooting and practicing on a 12-foot table. So I'm practicing at about 9 feet from the back wall. When I was shooting, at least in the morning session, I was probably closer to 11 to 12 feet away from the back wall. So I was shooting a little bit further, almost 3 feet further than what I normally would. Now, I'm not using this stuff as an excuse. But this is all different things that I do need to incorporate into the level up program. So starting today, at least for a while, I'm going to be shooting without the step next to my table. So that way I'm going to be getting used to the height of the table and the angle difference with my arm for what I'm throwing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably start next week sometime, work on the distancing. So that way I can work at getting away from the stick 9-foot position and getting a little bit further away. But hey, let's get started on Crapsee here, guys. Again, the code is up on the screen. There's nobody in Crapsee right now. But the code is H9K4Z4 if you do want to join in. And we have a bunch of people watching right now. We have Craig from Obey Craps. We have SJ. We have Demon Dog. Good morning. All is well. Frida. SJ again. Nuts and Bolts. And Chris from Dice DJ. Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to Level Up. And let's get started. So we're going to start off with a $20 pass line bet. We're going to start off with a $3 craps check. And we're going to go with the 555 and the ATS. Okay, that part right there is going to be the same right now, and I'm only doing this for Crapsee, this portion of it. I'm going to reconsider doing that at the regular table. One of the things I did notice is almost nobody, unless you're shooting, almost nobody was playing a pass or don't pass bet at the table throughout the entire day, actually. So that might be changing with my strategy going forward. But let's go all bet set here and dice out. So 4245 is the dice set. And I know that was a long introduction today, guys, but let's get some rolling in. And we're going to start off with a 369 center field 9. And let's make sure everything's engaged here, and it is, so it should be good to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to a 154 inside strategy, and it's including the points. So we're going to go with $42 on the 6 and 8. I'm going to have to figure out a little bit better way of doing this on Crapsee rather than inputting it all like I am manually here. And we're also going to go with $35 on that 5 and 9. And that's where we're going to start. What we're going to do is we're going to take one hit at this level, and that first hit is going to be a collect. The second hit, we're going to drop down to the 110 inside. So let's call that all bet set. We have 4 people in Crapsee right now. We have 12 people following along in on YouTube. Make sure if you guys want, go back and want an email, make sure you guys go back, and I kind of give you a little bit of a recap of what I went through this weekend down at Harrah's in Joliet, Illinois. 4245, and here we go. Roll number 2, shooter number 1. And we have a 257, ouch. So that is a primary hit. So the dice stayed on axis. They hit the back wall, and they kind of jumped on top of each other, so it was kind of a weird landing. And this angle difference, this angle difference that I have on the table here, guys, with the arm does make a difference in the throw. I have noticed. I did a couple practice throws prior to starting off today. So we're going to go $20 pass line bet, $3 craps check, 555 on that ATS. It does make a difference in the throw. So it's something that we are definitely going to have to get used to. And that's what this program is all about, guys, here. It's all about transparency here. I want to make sure that my journey, my craps dice shooting journey, as well as my betting journey is documented, it's transparent, and it's out for everybody to see the successes and the failures going forward. And hopefully there's a lot more successes than failures. 4245 is the dice set. Make sure the dice are square and parallel to the table. And we hit that mixing bowl just slightly. We have a 4-1-5 horse and buggy. So 5 will be our new point. And again, we're going to go with that 154 inside bet level. So that's going to be 42 on that 6 and 8. 35 on the 9 and 5. So that is including the point. We're going to take one hit as a collect, and then we'll go to 110 after the second hit on that. So we'll go all bets set. We got 7 people in Crapsee, and we're down to 11 people now on YouTube. So 4245. I hope everybody's weekend was awesome. And dice out. A little bit wild of a throw, but we have a 415 horse and buggy again. And that is our point, so we got the point immediately. So the first one's going to be a collect here, guys. The pass line and ATS and all that stuff I'm playing separately. So we're going to go up to $22 on that pass line. We're going to go to the $4 craps check. ATS is still in effect. And all of our box number bets are off at the current moment. Remember, we're going to take one more hit on the box number once we get a point set. And then we're going to go to 110 inside. So we're going to regress to 110 inside. And at that point, we should be into the shooter by only $10 then. All bets set here and dice out. Hit that mixing bowl again, but we have a 2-2 hard 4. That would be the ballerina. And that is a double pitch of the dice, so that is one of the dangerous parts of this dice set. The double pitch is something that I do not want to see much of, but our new point is going to be 4. Go back to the 4-2, 4-5 dice set. That does nothing for our bets, but our box numbers are turned back on. That does hit another number for the ATS. And we'll go all bets set here and dice out. Again, we hit that darn mixing bowl, but this time we got a 5-1 mixer. Chris from Sideshow Gamble, so it's a 1-5 we're entering in on KPI, as well as on Crapsee. So that'll be our second hit. Now we're going to come down to that 110 inside. And from here now, what we're going to do is we're going to take one hit. And when we get that hit, we're going to drop on in $5 and we're going to pick up the 4 and 10 at that time. But we're going to first of all get that first hit so we can get to that point. We have $111 brought back to the rack. We have 147 on the table. And remember, we have that ATS and the pass line that does affect the numbers a little bit here. So we have 4-2, 4-5 for the dice set. We have all bets set and dice out. And we got a 6-3-9, center field 9. So what's going to happen now is we're going to drop in $5. We're going to pick up that 4 and that 10 for $20 a piece. So nice thing now, guys, is that we are all set up to start pressing up. We have $146 brought back to the rack. We have 187 on the table. So we're only in on this shooter $41. So now we should be in a position to start pressing up a little bit. Let's do this one. So let's take one more hit, one more collect, and then we'll start pressing up after that. So we should be in a pretty good position then to go forward. So here we go, 4-2, 4-5 dice set, all bets set, and dice out. And we got a 1-3-4. So we hit that point right away. That's a big Joe from Craps Master Journey. So it's a 1-3-4. That is our point. And we did pick that 4 up, so that's nice that we picked that up. So we're going to actually get paid on the pass line as well as the 4 itself. But what we're going to do now is that was our other hit here. We're going to go up to $40 on that pass line now, because remember, the pass line we're working separately. And we're going to go with a $6 craps check. Our ATS is still intact. We're going to go 4245 for this dice set. And we're going to go all bet set. So now we're into the shooter for only $4 right now. Here we go. Looking for a new point. And we have a 5-1, a 1-5 mixer. That'll be our new point, 6. So yesterday, the ATS is only hit once. The tall and a small hit by the same shooter, obviously. And then one other shooter got one side of the ATS, and that was it the entire day. The fire bet was only paid out once, and that was on that 51 rower. He hit a 5-point fire bet. He hit the ATS, and you could not go up on the ATS again. If you could have, you would have hit the tall as well the second time around. So that was a really, really awesome roll there. Okay, well, we got 201 on the rack. We have 205 on the table, so we're pretty much at that break-even point. We're in the shooter for $4. We're going to start pressing up right here now. So we got all bets set and dice out. Again, we hit the mixable just slightly, but we have a 3-2-5 Michael Jordan, 2-3. So what we're going to do here now, guys, is we're going to sister press the 5 and 9 up to 35 each. So now we are definitely in a positive on this shooter. We have 236 brought back. We have 225 on the table, and we are in an awesome position to start pressing our bets up now. Yesterday during that 51 roller, I saw the first time ever. It was just amazing. Well, that's it. The reason I use the pass line, Demon Dog, is it helps me cover that ATS and the fire bet if I was to do it on that come out. So if a 7's rolled, that ATS and the fire bet is covered, as well as I do a craps check on there that covers that as well. So that's the only reason I do the pass line, but you are correct that no pass line was required to do the ATS or fire bet at Juliet in Illinois, at Harrow's there. So we got all bets set here, guys, and dice out. And we have a 2-6-8. Easy 8. So I'm starting to get a little bit more used to, I'm not saying used to 100%, but a little bit more used to this angle of the dice here. We're going to press both the 6 and 8 up to $42 each. So we're dropping $12 onto each one of them, and we're collecting some and pressing some there. So we have $271 brought back to the rack. We have $249 on the table. That might be, Chris, that might be why they do that. So we got 4-2, 4-5. And Chris is saying that's why they might not leave you go back up on the ATS, because they don't require that pass line bet. It might be. I'm not exactly sure how that works. So 4-2, 4-5. And we have a 4-5-9. That would be the Big Mac. Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps, the 4-5-9 hard 9. So we're gonna drop a quarter onto that 9 now. We're gonna bring that up to $60. So again, we're gonna do a press and collect there. 320 back to the rack, 274 on the table. So we're starting to make some money now. Starting to recover some that we lost on that first shooter. If you guys haven't checked out Roll the Winds video last night, Ed Robinson did his first interview video last night, and it was with Howard Rock and Roller Newman he's out of Florida. He does teaching the dice throwing both in Florida as well, I believe in Vegas, throughout different parts of the year right now. Awesome interview, and that was part one of a two-part interview with him. So make sure you check it out. It was an awesome, awesome, awesome show that Ed had put out. And we have that 257. That's a primary 7, guys. Both dice stayed on axis. And that is a 7. Ouch. So at least we made profit a little bit on this shooter. We profited $46 off this shooter. So this will be shooter number 3 now. The second shooter there, we hit the double-digit mark. We hit the 11, so it's a good start after the first one. Good morning, Biff. That wasn't a wonderful interview, wasn't it, Craig? So, okay, let's go $20 on the pass line bet here, guys. $3 craps check. 555 on an ATS. And we're going to go all bets set here and ready for shooter number 3. I know Alfredo went live last night. He hit the ATS last night, so make sure you check that one out as well. And we have a double Degen as it come out. The heart 6, 3-3 heart 6. Everybody likes a little bit of Degen. That is a primary hit for me. So our new point will be 6. Again, we're going to go with that 154 inside bet level. So that's going to be $42 on the 6 and 8, including the point here, guys. And we're going to go $35 on that 5 and 9. We're looking for 2 hits to start off with. First one will be a collect. After the second one, we'll go down to that 110 inside. So we have all bets set here, guys. 4, 2, 4, 5 for our dice set. And all bets set and dice out. And we got a 4-3-7. Ouch. So that is a double pitch on that dice set. Dice did stay on axis, but they did double pitch. And that is our second 0.7 out that we've had today. And that does hurt with the betting because that was right after we put our money out. So we lost a little over $300 just on those 2 shooters there. Yeah, Demon Dog came, I think you had the 8 to hit for the tall. Did you get the small on that or not? I can't remember. But you had, what was your roll? Was it 19 or was it 29? It was one of those 2. I can't remember what the number was. But it was a nice roll. I know that. I made my money all back pretty much. That was down on your roll, Demon Dog. So we got, again, $20 pass line bet. And we got a 555 on that ATS. And we're going to go all bet set here, guys. 4-2, 4-5 for the dice set. You hit that darn mixing bowl again, but we have that double Degen once again. Heart 6, 3-3. Heart 6, double Degen. You had 25, it was. Okay, now we're now at 22. So, yeah, it was amazing rolls by a lot of people yesterday, but they didn't come often enough to make the day, other than a 51 roller, to make the day hugely successful. We're going to go with that 154 inside bet level again. It's going to be 35 on a 5 and 9, 42 on that 6 and 8. And we're going to call that all bet set here, guys, and 4245. He's out. And we have a 4-5 Big Mac. That would be the hard 9 by Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps. So that is our first hit on this shooter. That is going to be a collect. So we're going to stay up for the same bet level for one more hit. Then we'll go down to the 110 inside after that. So 4245 is the dice set. The right side of the table definitely shot better than the left side of the table, except for the 51 roller. Don't forget about that one, Dame Dog. I found that I was not getting the dice often enough in order to get any pattern or any regularity to my throwing. In the 5 hours that I played at the table, I had the opportunity to shoot 3 times, which is not that much. That first session we went 4 times. It took us 4 hours to get around the table 2 times. So it was long waits between times for shooting. And everybody, it wasn't that they were doing bad shooting, just that we didn't have a lot of great shooting, except for a few individuals. And we have a 5-3-8. So we have that easy 8. So now we hit that second collect. We're going to drop down to that 110 inside here. I forgot to do all bet set here, guys. Hopefully everybody's playing along honestly. So we got a 5-3. And that will be a collect. We're going to drop down to the 110 inside bet level. So it's going to be 25 on the 5 and 9, 30 on that 6 and 8. Four, 2, 4, 5 is that dice set that we're using. And this is shooter number 4 and roll number 4 for shooter number 4. So we'll call that all bet set here, guys. And we're going to go all bet set. Dice out. And we have that hard 4 again. 2-2. Ballerina. Again, that is a double pitch. I don't like seeing that number coming up. That is a nice hit, though, as far as things are. It does not help me, though, with my bets, because we need an inside number in order to pick that 4 and 10 up right now. So that does help with the ATS, though. 4-2, 4-5 is going to be the dice set. And we're going to jump in right away here and go all bet set and dice out. And here we go. And another hard 4. That is that double pitch. Darn it. Still not collecting off of that, but it does help those of you who are playing the hard ways. I will say this about shooting, and again, I'm all about transparency here, guys. It was kind of nerve-wracking yesterday shooting the dice for myself for the simple reason, and nobody was judging me that I'm aware of, but for the simple reason, guys, that I'm running this level of program day in, day out. And I would like to think that people were gonna expect me to do better than I did for rolling. And I was up there, and I don't know if anybody else saw, but my hands were shaking just slightly. At least the first 2 times that I rolled. So we got all bets set here, guys. And we're gonna go dice out. So it's kind of funny. I noticed it, at least. I don't know if it was obvious to anybody else, but I got in there, and I was getting in there. My hands were like this, maybe just like this. I don't know if you guys could see that. Just a little shake, just enough to know that the nerves were there. Dice split apart a little bit when they released from my hand right now. And we got a 1, 6, 7, both dice off axis. So not a good rolling here today, guys. Really not happy with that. That 1, 6 is not a 6 that I want to see, or not a 7 that I want to see, because that means that both of them went off axis. One input and one exploded. So I got 4, 2, 4, 5. And I think that happened on that one because the dice actually split apart a little bit as they left my fingers. We're gonna make this. Hopefully, make this our last shooter. Hopefully, it goes till 9 o'clock here. $20 on the pass line bet, $3 on the craps check, 555 on an ATS. Let's make some money here, guys. Let's make some money today. And we'll go all bets set here, guys. And dice out. Nuts and bolts. I hear you, Joe. I thought I was a proficient roller. I was wrong. Again, guys, daily. It changes daily right now. You could try to do everything mechanically as good as you can. And that was a conversation that came up, and I'll talk to you about that in just a second here. The dice landed, and they actually kissed together, and they split apart when they landed. But we have the 2, 5, 7. It's a primary hit. So that was a conversation that actually came up yesterday about midway through that first session. There was a young gentleman that was standing between, that was not with us though, but was standing between me and Big AZ. Extremely nice young man. And we were talking off and on probably for about a half an hour. And all of a sudden, AZ introduced himself to this young guy, and he goes, "Yeah, I know who you are." He goes, "I watch you." And Big AZ kind of did a step backwards. It was awesome, and he said that he's been watching, Big AZ for a while, but he didn't know that the rest of us YouTubers were there and that. And his question to us was, just because you have a YouTube channel, does that mean that you're going to be rolling better? And both me and AZ said, no, definitely not. We're going to have good and bad days. Also, I told him we're going to probably have more practice than a lot of people will. So the chances of having a better roll might be a little bit better than some people. But just because you have a YouTube channel does not make you an excellent or an awesome shooter. So we're up $2 right now so far. Let's go all bets set again. $20 pass lane bet, $3 crap check, 555 on the ATS. Still looking for that first point here, guys. And dice out. And we have a 2, 6, 8, easy 8. 8 came easy. So that'll be our new point. And let's see if we can get some longevity to this roller again. We're going to go to that 154 inside bet level. So that's going to be $35 on that 9 and 5, 42 on the 6 and 8. And we're going to call that all bets set. 4, 2, 4, 5 is our dice set. Dice out. And we have a 5-1 mixer. So 6 is the roll here. So that will be our first collect for this shooter. And that is a nice number to collect. Actually, any of those inside numbers all pay out the same. They pay out $50 for one. So we got 4245 for our dice set. And we're going to call this all bets set here, guys, and dice out. Dice split apart a little bit again, but we have a 2, 3, 5, this time Michael Jordan. So that'll be our second collect for this shooter. So that means we're going to be able to drop down to that 110 inside bet level. So that means that we have $97 brought back to the rack. We have 145 on the table right now. So we're going to do at least one collect before we press up to 4 and 10. So I'm actually undecided what I'm going to do with that. If I'm going to collect one more time at this belt level, or if I'm going to pick up the 4 and 10 and then collect a level. Let's do that once. Let's pick up that 4 and 10 and then collect one after that. And the reason being is because the last shooter hit 2 4s, and we did not get paid out on either one of those two. And we have a 2 6 8. Easy 8 again. So that is our point, I believe. So we're gonna, oh man, what do we do with this? We have $152 brought back to the rack, 145 on the table right now. We're gonna go up to 22 on that pass line. We're gonna go $4 craps check. So that brings us 152 brought back, 151 on the table now. So 4245. So that means that we are in the positive by $1. Let's do this once. After we set a point here, let's pick up that 4 and 10 for 20 each. And then we'll do a collect after that. So all bets set here, guys, and dice out. Dice land, they split apart, but we're on to 6, 2 by 4. Easy 6. So 6 will be our new point. And that was roll number 6 for the shooter. We've only hit 3 different numbers so far, so we are starting to repeat some of the numbers around a little bit. And we got 4245 for our dice set. We're going to pick up that 4 and 10, so we're going to drop in $40 here. 20 on the 4, 20 on the 10. We're going to call that all bets set then. So we have $148 brought back to the rack. We have 187 on the table. So this first one will be a collect. And we're going to start pressing up after that. Catch up with the chats a little bit later, guys. I want to concentrate on this throw right now. And we have a 369 center field 9. So we're going to collect that one, and then we're going to start pressing up here, guys. So that collect will bring us to a $183 brought back to rack, 187 on a table. So we're into the shooter for only $4 right now. 4245. So we're in a good position to start pressing up now. And we're going to be pressing and collecting as we go. So let's go all bet set and dice out. And we have a 426. That is our point. So we knocked that point off right away. Buckshot at it. Actually, not buckshot. We had a roll in between, I think it was. But that is nice because that's be a little bit extra payout here because we have that pass lane set up here. And we're going to go to $40 on that pass line. We're going to go $60, or not $66 on the craps check. So we have 240 brought back. We have 211 on the table. We're set up pretty decent now to start pressing up once we start getting some hits here. And we're going to try to press these up, press and collect, but we're going to try to press a little bit aggressively to get some money back here. We got all bets set. And dice out. Coming out looking for a new point. Hit that mixing bowl just slightly, but we're on to 5. We have a Michael Jordan 235. So that'll be our new point. I think we've had that as a point already. We already have 2 other points set, so we can hit this and that'll be a 3 points towards a fire bet. And we're going to $234 brought back, 205 on the table. We're going to leave it as that. And the next hit will be a press. 4245. And we have that hard 4 again, 2-2 hard 4. So that is showing up quite a bit. I'm not liking that number. But that is at least we're going to collect on it this time. Again, I did not hit the darn all bet set thing. I hope everybody is honest here. So we're going to press that 4 now up to $40. So we're going to basically collect 20 and press up 40. That's going to come at a $2 vig here. 273 brought back, 225 on the table. 4245 for the dice set. This is going to be roll number 11 for this shooter. And we have a 639, center field 9. One of the things I was going to say before, and I forgot to say, guys, is this weekend I saw the first time ever I've seen somebody have $500 on the 10, $500 on the 9, $500 on the 8, 500 on the 6, 500 on the 5, and $300 on the 4. Plus, they had a ton of money on the center field bets there, on the hardways, on the horns. They had a bunch on the field, a bunch on the pass line. It was just freaking the amount of money. I bet you they had at least $3,000 to $4,000 on the table. Just amazing to see. It was wow. That's all I'm gonna say is wow. So we threw a 9 there. So we're gonna bring that 5 and 9 up to $35 each. Puts us 308 back in the rack, 245 on the rack, or on the table, 4245. And all bet set. And here we go. Dice out. Hit that mixing bowl just slightly, but we have the 6-4-10. Waylon's best friend weighing in, Daddy Joe. It's the first 6-4 that we've thrown today that I'm aware of. First 10 period that we have thrown today, so that's interesting. That's normally a number that I do hit a few times, not a lot, but a few times. We're going to press that 10 up to $40 now. So now we'll have the 4 and the 10 both brought up. Pressed at least once. 347 brought back. 265 on the table. 4-2, 4-5. And we're in good shape going forward here now. All bets set, dice out. And 347, ouch. Ow. So, okay, here we go, guys. 347 out. Let's record it in. Let's check our time. That's probably going to be our last shooter right there. That was a total of 13 rolls that time. So we had 3 terrible shooters, 2 decent shooters. We made $82 off that roll. Let's go over to our statistics, and then after that, I'll check the chats out. So we had a total of 5 shooters today. 3 of them were not so good. 2 were .70. We had 11 and 13. Box numbers are exceeding a lot. Inside numbers are a lot. 4s and 10s are a little bit high. Come out 7s are definitely low. Horns and fields are low. Hard ways are high. And it was right at that pivot point between light and dark side play. We had an SOR today of 6.8, 5.7 for the SRR, and a 1 for the come out 7. Hot numbers today were the 4, 5, 6, and 9. So we had a lot of streak numbers here. We only went 1 over expected for the 7. So that was our come out 7. So I guess not the worst here, guys, but it could be a lot better. Could be a lot better. Going through the chats here. Yeah, guys, getting in a casino and shooting at your own table, is totally different things. But the more practice we can get in, the better we're going to be in the long run. But guys, thanks for following along today. I will see you guys tomorrow for the Level Up program. And make sure that you subscribe if you haven't done so already, guys. Give me that thumbs up. Greatly appreciate it if you could do so. It'll go a long ways to help promote my content. But my name is Joe, and this is my Craps Master Dice Shooting Journey. Let's make it yours too. Have a great day, everyone.